Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to join us for our 10th episode of STEM activities at home or in the classroom. We'll continue to share some great hands-on activities, including the ones we planned for today. So now I'm going to pass it over to Josh, who will be the main presenter today of our webinar.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Yay, Wednesday. I'm Josh, and over here to my left is Pete, our producer, who'll be handling things. And we are here thanks to the wonderful people at Nasco. And as always, before we get started, we should really say if you have any questions, comments, random musings, please message Jordan. He's a wonderful voice that introduced us all, and you can reach him at this wonderful URL or this email address, or Nasco. There we go. Bunch of fun things. You can actually sign up for more of these wonderful workshops hosted by cool people like us at the nascoeducation.com. They're very nice people here in Wisconsin, and Pete's just clicking on those little overlays left and right there. But definitely also off to the side here is my very sad Springer Spaniel. So if you hear anything that sounds like a high-pitched whine, it's him, because he's not allowed in our video production area. It's a very sad dog. But today we're going to go over a couple different activities found in these really nice Nasco home learning bags that we work with Nasco to produce. And there's a bunch of different activities in here. These are all designed for kids working at home or students in a classroom who can't share materials, because we're all in that situation now where even in a classroom setting, sharing things, doing a group activity has become a dirty word, because kids really should be sharing things if we're trying to keep things clean and COVID safe. So we're going to switch to our overhead camera right now and go over these fun little Nasco bags. Now, by the way, if you have a question about ordering these or other things like, oh, what was in those bags? Ask Jordan after the show. He's a nice fellow, or give him a call. You can call him up. He has a very, very nice phone voice too. So let's go over these two bags. There we go, to order, call that number. Also, by the way, throw up comments on there's like the text comment window there. If you have questions or whatnot, we'll also share some links as well through there. I know Jordan will as well, for the materials involved. Everything you see, we're showing off all the activities. We have online materials for that Nasco can share with you. And they're step-by-step directions, videos, all that fun jazz, lesson plans, worksheets, all the fun teacher resources that nobody wants to make. So we make them. Yay, it's a Wednesday here in Wisconsin. So going ahead here, so let's actually look at the small bag first. So the small bag is really heavily focused on our different paper circuits lesson plans that we do. We're not even going to open this up because, well, all the same stuff is in here, but far more of it. So in our small bag version, focused on the like 1 to 2 weeks worth of lesson plans and activities we put together for home learning basic circuitry using our really awesome nylon conductive tape. This is a big roll. There's a smaller roll in here. This is our really cool fabric tape. If you haven't been to one of our events before, you probably then let me tell you all about the cool things with our cool tape. This is what we use for so many projects. It's kind of like that copper foil tape that you've used, except it solves every problem you ever had with it. It's nylon based, the fabric tape. It's more like a sticky conductive ribbon, and which makes it really, really strong because it's nylon. It's good enough for parachutes. It's good enough for us. Kids have to cut this with a pair of scissors. They cannot rip it by hand, which is amazing. Solves so many problems. Make right angle turns, go onto things like fabric or windows or walls and come off again when you're done. Solves a lot of issues. But even better, it's conductive on top and bottom, so you can overlap two pieces to make a strong electrical connection. So you use a lot less of it than that copper foil stuff. I think, Pete, do we have an overlay that expresses our feelings on copper foil?
We do have such
a thing. There it is. Say no to copper foil. We used to use it in our own kits years ago. This is much, much, much better. But we have lesson plans meant for at-home or individual use in the classroom that goes over the basics of electronics, as well as teaches kids how to makes their own switches and buttons, parallel series circuits, all that fun jazz. And then they can use the materials as well to then make something fun at the end, because the nice part is you make a little activity one day, a little how-to learning activity. You can take those parts off when you're done and use them for something better the next day, since it's all an individual set of stuff. Nobody wants to take home I made something light up. They want to take home something that's fun and interesting. I usually have lots of demos around, but they're all out of reach. Like a dinosaur or a fun light up greeting card this time of year. We have tons and tons and tons of different activities, not to mention just making a paper craft that lights up, because once kids get going, they tend to understand that. But yeah, there's 2 batteries in here, a 16-foot roll of our tape, 8 LEDs, 2 white, 2 blue, 2 red, 2 green, and a binder clip. Pardon me. Chips, buddy. My poor dog. He can't hear me. He's just the saddest Springer Spaniel in the world. He has to be slightly out of frame. But here, this is the bigger bag, which has about 3 weeks plus worth of activities in it. And so this is the one that we know people tend to like the most, because if you have kids stuck at home, these are all meant for individual home use. All the kids should need is a pair of scissors and maybe like just some regular paper to make some activity. So let's go over what's in here and make a couple fun things for the time that we have. So, oh, big old bag of stuff. There we go. So of course we have the paper circus materials, which is a big focus on what we like to do, because we can do so much with it. And so we have 2 of our rolls of conductive tape. So you have 32 feet of that, which is way more than you need for all these activities. We like to give away more extra tape. Some of our fun binder clips are big LEDs and blinking LEDs, because naturally blinking LEDs are fun. We have a little solar panel here, as well as some fun cards to make your own solar bug. So our solar bug is one of our activities. It's a paper craft solar vibrating bug. It's kind of silly and fun, but it's really easy to teach some electronics, solar electronics activities with it. And so we have a nice fun lesson where your kids try out different light sources, whether like LEDs we have here, incandescent fluorescent bulbs, or the sun, basically lights they already have at home, because we all have a few types of lights at home. Use the LED off the back of your phone, for instance, to try things out. And does it make that vibrating motor vibrate? Versus say the sun, which is millions of miles away, 93 million miles away, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, depending on the time of year, elliptical orbit and all, science teacher facts. But you can try out different light sources and say, okay, how does that affect the solar panel? But also use that solar panel for a couple of the paper circuits activities we have, because we can actually turn an LED on from the sun, although that's kind of boring because LEDs in the sun, not too much fun overall as a fun activity. We also, of course, have one of our fun bristle bots in here. If you've not done one of these before, these are the bee's knees. It's a toothbrush head with a vibrating motor on it. We do a really great version. We even make our own toothbrush head. We might make one of these depending on our time up there. A light up name badge with a nice little optics lesson. The basic idea of this is the kids scratch their name on here with a safety pin, also included, and then LED and a battery, and it lights up, kind of like a lot of the lights you see or signs you might see. My favorite is the fancy exit sign that hangs from the ceiling, just looks like floats. Well, that's etched acrylic, usually with a machine, I'd assume, and then LEDs that are hidden. And we can do the same thing on here with someone's name, which is really fun to have the kids walk around with a Sue or a Bill or a Sam. 3 to 4 letter names are the best. It is way easier. As a Joshua, I become a Josh. Yeah, Peter over here, probably better as a Pete. Or initials is also the thing I try with kids who have long names. Poor Constance, she really wanted to write Constance on there. A little 10-year-old we work with at a teaching conference. She sat there for a long time etching her name onto this poor thing. She was a trooper, good old Constance. But those are in there as well. And oh, we also have for the older kids as well, we do include a little transistor and resistor set in here for some more advanced paper circuits. So if you're like, hey, this seems like way too elementary level or middle school level, it's actually aimed for kind of middle school, high school route with a few of these things, because we can use transistors, and we have a light detecting resistor in here as well to make interactive circuits. The one our go-to activity, which I'm sure Jordan can link to or Pete can link to here, is a dark detecting circuit on a piece of paper. When you put your hand over the light detecting resistor, the LED turns on. When you take it away, it turns off. Basically an outdoor garden light. Just a very simple circuit with a transistor, an LED, a resistor, and a battery. Not too complicated, and very reasonable to do for 4th grade on up. And that's always our goal, is to make things that are, yeah, they seem a little complicated at first, but there's no reason any 4th grader on up cannot handle that. It's just tape on paper, which is the best part. If you mess up too badly, try again, which is why we give plenty of extra tape. But we're going to do a couple quick activities because we have so many we could run over, especially with our paper circuits. But it's the end of 2020 coming up here. Thank goodness, right? So we actually just, I kid you not, like 20 minutes ago, Pete, I don't think they can hear the sound effect. Pete does sound effects that, depending on the platform we're on, people may not be able to hear, but I can hear them. It's 2020, so depending on what you want to do, you might say want to make your own little Roomba, which you can do with the self-sticking motor we have in here. So it can vacuum up the mess that is 2020. And kids would just need a piece of paper. We have a nice template. You could always print these off and give these to kids, which we typically recommend for some of the more complicated paper crafty things, like just print off a piece of piece of that. But the little light up Roomba is kind of fun. We've done that, I think, before with Jordan here on the Nasco chat, time chat. So this is a fun one to do to sweep away the year. We also have a couple of like holiday themed ones, like a candy candy one. Poor sad spaniel. We love our dogs, but they can be sad. But the project we just, I kid you not, just finished up 20 minutes ago is this very nice Happy New Year's card. And since it's been kind of a difficult year for people, and we have so many different cards we put out, a variety of things for this time of year. We had a whole pile of them that we did, I think, last time, 2 weeks with Jordan. Like a Rudolph, a Kwanzaa card, a Hanukkah card, a Christmas card. There's lots of generic holiday ones. We thought, you know what, end of the year, let's make a New Year's card that really embodies 2020. So we made a dumpster fire that says 2020, and it's a pop-up dumpster fire. So it can be a very classy card that says, hey, it pops up, it turns on, life is really good. So this is a fun card to give to people. You want to say, hey, I know it's been a tough year, have a chuckle to your fellow adults or teachers. And again, depending on if you're a teacher who really likes to work from home, I know some teachers have found it kind of easy, others have found it very difficult. We have found it very interesting to work from the office as well. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to make this guy and use our conductive tape. And if you have questions, let us know. We're going to make this and talk about this. Show you how easy it is to make a card like this. And again, we have tons and tons and tons of paper crafts. This is a simple parallel circuit, which is a lesson we have. So we're going to put this together and yeah, go from there. So first and foremost, we're going to grab some tape. I actually grabbed my big roll of tape, which I had here some. Oh wait, it's under my ladybug. There we go. It's 2020, people, for a few more years. So we're gonna lay our tape down in a variety down here to show you how easy it is to make this, because most of the paper craft activities we have are simpler than this, which is kind of the fun part for a lot of kids, making something fun after they've done some lessons. They put those skills they've learned to use, they built up some confidence, then they can make something interesting. And whether or not you want to make a dumpster fire or a dinosaur or a fun Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, sorry, Randolph the license-free reindeer, as we like to call him, it's all the same level of difficulty. So the rubric ends up being the same, the activity ends up being the same, but the kids get to do the fun things that they want to do without well, have a little choice. I like the illusion of choice when it comes to children. Back when I was a teacher, I would give my students 3 options, 2 of which I know they'd most likely pick, one which nobody would ever pick, but it's an option, the very teacher option. But the other 2 I have, these are acceptable options, knowing that they most likely would pick a very certain one. Like, which pizza do you want? Anchovies? But so I always give them options, and they're all teacher acceptable. So let me grab my LEDs here. I've got 2, these are 2 blinking LEDs, just add power, they blink. And we're going to spread the legs out first on these guys. Now, Pete, do these LEDs want to point up off the paper or just straight up?
I think pointing straight up, they kind of illuminate above the fire.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So we're going to do this. We're going to bend our legs. Now, people, if you've not done this before, I apologize if you know this. The long leg of an LED is, oh, it actually says right here, is positive. The short leg is negative. And it's kind of important to know which is which, because if you don't, things won't turn on. Now, the upside is with a 1 LED project, if your LED is not the right position, you flip the battery over and life is good. With multiple LEDs, it can be weird when one doesn't turn on. So positive leg goes up here, as we've done. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Zoom. Not the platform we are using today. And I'm going to put my little positive leg here and my negative leg down there. Ta-da! I'm going to do the same thing with LED number 2, because we really want our fire to really illuminate and blink. Now we can just use standard red LEDs, or, you know, I know if you're a teacher wanting to do this, say, from scratch on your own without any materials from Nasco, sadness. You can get yellow LEDs or something. These are the red ones that we like to include in our kits because they just blink. And we're going to lay down tape. Very much better than that, huh, Pete? Wow. So we're going to lay it down here in one easy go. There we go. There, I'm just going to press down. It is conductive on top and bottom, so we are still electrically connected. Sometimes press down a little bit. I'm going to go over here. Now, I could cut this off right now, but I'm pretty good at doing this. And I'm going to do a right angle turn. This is something I said last week when I was doing a live stream for a bunch of teachers, and then I just totally messed it up. I couldn't do it. I'm going to lay this down all the way to the end here. and go to the middle here. That's where a battery is going to sit on top of that. That was not a good right angle, but you know what? I will take it because it is a Wednesday. We're going to start from the other side and do the same thing. Yeah, this is a pretty standard card. Now, if this was copper foil, it would probably break on me a few times. Nothing sadder than watching kids fail at copper foil. I'm sure that, okay, there are sadder things out there. Like a Springer Spaniel who's not allowed in the video production room, yet is off screen being very sad. He is not the actual brown dog, but we do like him.
He's a brown dog.
He's a brown. I'm gonna cut this off just to make life easy because I am gonna get a little complicated here. By complicated, I mean using one or two pieces of tape. So I'm gonna get a little unwieldy with my tail coming off of here. There we go. So I can just go down like this, and I'm probably a-okay for my blinking LED. And if I'm not, we'll get it worked on. There we go. Getting myself in frame. Now our little guide here has some tape going this way. We don't have to, but if we want to be like extra secure, every now and then we do things like,
Little better connection on the legs maybe, but yeah.
We can just little X there if we want to. It should be good. Usually if something's not making good connection, just press down on it for a second and you're good. Ta-da! Now, if we really want to see if this works or not, we can just take the old CR2032 battery here. There we go. Ta-da! 2 blinking LEDs in parallel. Very beautiful. So then after that, we just need to add our, oh, wow, this is in the forest for the trees. Add our little dumpster on here with regular tape, which I totally have right here.
Perfect.
Clear tape or Elmer's glue if you're an Elmer's glue people, but I like the clear tape because it's very quick on camera. There we go. We don't really rarely do pop-up cards, so this was let's pop this guy up. Now the hard part with any good pop-up, I probably should have started with
Josh, that's the trick.
what's the trick?
Hold it forward. Hold the dumpster forward. No, down towards the front. Okay, now hold those little flaps down. Yep, okay, hold the flap. Nope, open it. Okay, you see the flaps there?
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 little pieces. Hold them backwards.
Like this?
Yeah, hold those over. No, the other way. Down. No, keep the bigger part.
Oh, this?
Other way though. Like that. Okay. Now if you stick a piece of tape under the little partial fold and then press down and line up.
Pete's giving me directions on this because so
Finish the direction.
like right here, Pete?
On the other side though.
Like right here?
Yeah. You got it.
Could you not like 20 minutes ahead of time?
Yeah, and then press that down flat, and when you hold it, it should stick in place roughly.
And so we're using regular tape here, which of course is not conductive. So we do this, and then Pete just says, just fold this on top.
Press down, it might stick okay. Good work. Somewhat.
Yeah, actually that's not too shabby, Pete. And I'm gonna put a little piece of tape just on the edge here. We don't do a lot of pop-ups because they are a little bit more effort and, try to meet the needs of the kids we work with and the sanity of the teachers we work with, which I know can be a little rough this time of year. Although I guess if you've been working from home for months on end, winter vacation is just an extension of your average day, just with less Zoom or maybe more Zoom depending on your family. There we go. So we got this, yay. We can put our battery right here, and we can use one of these binder clips we have to hold it together. This is how you can turn things on and off. We have a variety of ways of turning things on and off. Ta-da! Let's get this frame better. It's kind of hard to see with all the lights on, but yes, it is blinking. It'll look nice in like a bit dimmer area, but you can do yay. And you want to go really crazy with this, put like a regular piece of there we go, like a regular piece of paper underneath here as a pull tab, just a random scrap of paper you have. Like this is just a piece of this. Put it underneath, so like, you know, a little pull here. It's like a pull tab, exactly. And then you can pull and it turns on. So happy 2020 teachers out there. We feel your pain, but a nice way of doing that. You can also fold these forward to make it a little flatter. And you have a pull here, Happy New Year's 2020. So I guess this is the end of 2020, so I don't, Happy New Year's 2021, but there we go.
We're throwing 2020 in the dumpster, Joe.
It's true. We're really hoping next year is a little more fun because we miss all of our in-face workshops with teachers. It's way more fun to hang out with teachers and librarians than over Zoom in person. Especially librarians, they know how to party, and with all their books and cats. I'm not kidding, they're good. So we did that, and we're gonna do one other thing here. We haven't actually shown off the little name badge activity, which, although people do kind of roll their eyes at as an activity sometimes, I totally get it. It is extremely, extremely eye-catching for kids. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. Use a marker, a dry erase marker. We're just gonna go, see here we go, J, M, Z. My initials are really easy because they're all straight lines. We're gonna take a safety pin and gonna quickly etch my name on here. Now, optics is a fun thing. It's a tough one to teach remotely. This is a really fun way to talk about how light moves around in different environments, because depending on if it's going through water, or in this case, acrylic or air or space, light behaves differently. You know, putting a straw in a cup of water, it'll bend the light. In the case of acrylic, acrylic is extremely clear, and so light typically travels in a straight line through clear acrylic when it's put along the edge. It's called edge lighting acrylic, used for signs for years. But how do you use that for your own benefit? If you etch, you provide a surface for the light then to reflect off of, bouncing then towards your eyes, which is what you see on those signs. So we can just use this safety pin here and just lightly etch. Now I'm doing this in an extremely time crunchy way. You'll get teachers and adults who do this, sit around for half an hour doing this at trade shows with us. There's once a guy broke out a large knife in Texas and carved a Batman logo into his. Of course, being Texas, of course he'd have a large knife with him. Doesn't be very deep. I'm just lightly doing this. That's
bigger Texas.
I would believe it. I've eaten food there. My favorite was Texas Korean Barbecue. It was a Korean Texas barbecue fusion restaurant. Great Korean food, great barbecue. But the Koreans do make a good barbecue to begin with. So, so this is actually pretty just quick and lazy on my part, but it doesn't take much to do this. And people always worry about the safety pin etching. It's not tough. And yes, it's a safety pin. It can be safe if you want to. Something, something, something. There you go. We're not very deep because the acrylic is soft. The safety pin is nice and sharp. Also is the way you pin it to yourself when you're done. So we'll put this away. And if you want to spend more time in this, great. You then use your finger to wipe away that, leaving only the scratching on there. Oops, use my safety pin to get the paper backing off.
Josh, I think I've seen people also peel it off and then lay it on a drawing they've done. It's like a
yes.
template like that.
If you use like do a nice drawing, then lay this on top and like tape it down with a piece of like clear tape. You can't really see it here. If the light catches it just right, you can see my initials. And then from then on out, it's really, really simple to add the components on for that. It's a special little clear LED we have with short legs on it. 2 1-inch dot stickers. Nasco, by the way, also has large kits of these too. If you just want to buy these by themselves. Same with our paper circs, everything else you see here. Nasco does have all these kits as large classroom sets, which is always fun. So we've got our LED, we've got our battery here. Yay, blue LED, because blue looks really nice in any lighting environment. We can then just stick all this together on the table here. Ta-da. And I'm going to use my dot stickers to secure it in place on both sides. My poor Springer Spaniel. They're the neediest dogs. No, he's fine.
Okay.
I don't know if people can hear him, but sometimes the microphone doesn't pick up things that far away. Now, right now, it's kind of hard to see. I didn't really do a ton of etching. The more etching you do, the better. Hey, Pete, would you turn these lights off? These 2 lights are 2 main lights.
I will.
Thanks, Pete. We're gonna see if this will work with these 2 lights off. We can get a little bit of funness going on here. Oh, it's hard to see. Well, I didn't really etch very much on here.
Yeah, scratch in a little deeper.
I need to scratch a bit more and deeper. And now I'm in the dark. but a little bit extra time, more than the 4 minutes I had to do this in. Does look really nice. We do have some nice directions and some videos that show off a bit better etching. This would look better probably in an all dark environment too, but a little bit more etching. That's a nice part too. If you haven't etched enough, just do more later. But our whole optics lesson talks about how light moves through different substrates, including this acrylic being that end goal activity. Of course, then the kids can pin it to themselves like so with the safety pin. So those are just two of those activities. We have done the solar bugs and bristle bots before. Those are fun. They're just fun vibro bots. But the solar bug does have that nice solar connection. It's probably the cheapest go-to solar activity you can do for a kid as a take-home thing. Pete, would you mind closing the door? Sorry, poor dog. It's his first day back in the office in quite a while. He is just the saddest spaniel in the world. Look, we're exactly 2 minutes ahead of where we should be. Perfect. But yeah, these are the Nasco bags. Talk to Jordan if you want to check these out, these STEM take-home bags, because these are really designed to have kids entirely be able to do these at home with just the lesson plans, direction sets, and being projects that are also very easy for teachers to facilitate, troubleshoot, and manage remotely, because nothing's more fun than tech support over Zoom. And I can't imagine a classroom full of kids doing tech support. So everything we have in these activities are designed that the kids can do everything on their own with very little adult help, especially over Zoom. And also they can hold things up to a screen like, what am I doing wrong with something? It's very easy for you to troubleshoot, because classroom management remotely is, I can only imagine, difficult, if not impossible for some teachers to do based on the activities they're doing. So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. They're in the chat window. Jordan, do you have anything else to add? If you're there.
Right now, no. Yeah, I am here. Sorry. Yes, right now I'm just uploading a lot of content into the handouts from the different activities that we've been doing. I did want to thank Josh for his time and for presenting. My name is Jordan Nelson. I'm one of the customer engagement managers with Nasco. I was your host today. And give a shout out to all you educators out there who are still making it happen for students. It's been a tough half of the school year, but stay motivated, stay positive. What you're doing means a lot. I like to reiterate, if you do have any questions or comments, there you can see my email address, engage@nascoeducation.com. You can reach out to us for any further information about what you saw, some different kits, activities. I did want to mention too, in the handout section, I am uploading some different documents that you can use. Then some of the things that we've actually covered in the past. You can download these. If you don't get a chance to download these, say that by the time this ends, you didn't get everything that you needed, feel free to reach out to us again at engage@nascoeducation.com. And then I also put the links to those 2 different kits that Josh was so great at showing today in our chat feature, in our chat window, so we can have there. Any other questions? What are general shipping times? We do have these in stock, but generally speaking, these would go out anywhere between 7 to 10 days. So if you do need those, we can probably get those on order. But again, if we're talking about minimum orders, if you're talking about a lot, big orders, we can customize that, but that would also take more time. So bear with us on that. Any other pointers, things that you want to point out, Josh?
Well, no, I mean, definitely call up Nasco, because we work with them and custom things. I know Nasco's good at that. We're good at that, working with Nasco on custom things with customers. But we try to put these together in a way that would cover most needs. But yeah, these are really handy, because honestly, the take-home thing I know has just been a struggle for, say, science teachers, especially. How do you do so many science things without the equipment you have in your classroom, the resources? And this just kind of gives you a whole lot of lessons to do from one little self-contained package at a price point that doesn't hurt your school or your budget, because I know how that goes. But no, seriously, any questions, let Jordan know. We're happy to answer technical questions on things or lesson plan things. Definitely look over the lessons we have. We have little direction cards in here. We have full-on lessons, like teacher lesson plans, student activity pages, assessments that go with a bunch of different paper circuits, BristleBot, the LED name badge, that optics lesson. I mean, when I say we have lessons, we really have laid things out. So as a teacher, you can just implement this with very little effort, because that's always helpful. But we try to build up some good, the 3 of us who do lesson plans up front here, putting those things together so everyone is happy and go lucky and can just roll these out if need be. Even if you just need something like every Friday to do that's different and fun for your kids, there's fun stuff in here. It's all that kind of high level engagement. Plus bristle bots are fun. The solar bugs are fun. Making your own little light up Roomba is fun. It's there for a reason, to make things engaging for the kids and low stress level for you teachers at home. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
less
I can
stress
only
is good.
Yes. So
Yeah,
definitely,
and
Dr. Jordan, definitely guys, sign up. Make sure you sign up for more of these workshops with Nasco, and follow them on social media to follow those various things. And ask Jordan questions. He's very good at answering them. He answers all of our questions very, very promptly.
yeah. Well, thank you, Josh. And just remember, everybody, these are intended to be easy to learn, engaging STEM activities that you can integrate and supplement your curriculum at home or at school. We'll continue to do more and more episodes. Give us your feedback on that survey that you're going to be getting right after this webinar today. We'd love to hear from you. And then also, last but not least, if you have any other different comments, questions, things of that nature, make sure to reach out to engage@nascoeducation.com. Next week, we will be having our last episode of the year 2020, which is just crazy to think that several weeks away is going to be 2021. But yeah, 4 p.m. Central Time again. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 5 p.m. On the West Coast, that is going to be 2 hours behind, so about 2 p.m. All right, so reach out to us next week, register for next week. We're gonna have fun activities, and hopefully you guys have a great time. I don't see any other questions, Josh, so I think we're all good.
Adios.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day.